So yeah, let's start with our thing. So today we'll be discussing how to bring a thoughtful child and inculcating a love for learning in them. So what I believe is, thank you first try. Thank you for making me here, and this is a lovely opportunity to be with you guys. So we were talking about how to raise how to bring a thoughtful child and inculcate the love for learning. So what I feel, raising a child starts from when you conceive, when all mothers conceive their children in their womb. The raising starts from there, and the research shows the mothers who start reading to their children when they are born have a better brain. So they are born with a bigger brain, and when they are born, they are already introduced to the reading environment. They are already exposed to the reading environment. So starting when from right at the time when you have conceived is very important. Is that what research says? And it makes a lot of difference. So why to start early? Why start early is the another point we'll be discussing today. The early start for your children is the key for success. Never think you have enough time, and when the child is responding, you can start then, because 90% of your neurons are connected. They are developing at the age between age of 0 to 3. So this is also happening when you have conceived. So neurons are the one thing which are developing at the fastest rate. So starting early is very important. So the child is not able to respond to you. That means he is not using his tongue. So but his brain is responding to you. So what you should do is you should try and talk to your child as much as possible. And you should always talk to your child in a way like you are playing both the roles. Whatever you will say and what the child will answer back, you have to talk in both sense. So it is very important for you to have to give it attention and talk smartly to your children. That is very important in this. So you guys have any questions regarding this, or how what is the age of your children, where are you joining from? Can you put it in the comments, and we'll be happy to answer it. So yeah. So what I feel is the 0 to 3 years of age is your time. Use it or lose it. It will definitely give a head start to you, for your children. It is very 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 beneficial for your children, and you can see a measurable growth. While you see a measurable growth in when your children will go to the preschool and nursery. If you have started early, they know everything, and they get a head start which nothing else can do. And there are you should always put use those things, do intentionally for your to make thinking skills in your children. You should do activities to inculcate those things in your children, like encourage reasoning is very important. And reasoning starts from about 18 months. Your child knows when the dog is barking, that if he hears a bark, he knows there is a dog. If you dress up, he knows that you are going somewhere. So these things have been known to the children, and you should always do things and activities with them. So these things are encouraged, and these reasoning skills are you can inculcate these reasoning skills, and you can encourage by the way you talk. So yeah, encourage reasoning. You should always encourage problem solving. You should use picture books, show them albums, so they know what they are doing. Now coming to how to encourage your reasoning skills in children. So like I said, your child knows when the dog is there's a dog, when hears a bark, and he knows when you are about to go out and you are taking him or not taking him. Yeah, he knows when he gets ready, he's going to the park. Now right now he doesn't go anywhere, so but still they know that there is a routine to it, and if they are getting ready, they are going in a particular room or a space where they are learning, so they know then the learning will take place. So what kind of activities you should always use thinking skills, like when you are dressing them up, where if you have he's wearing you have given him one shoe, ask him where is your another shoe, where it can be, let's go and find you another shoe. Or when you are feeding them fruits, take a bowl of fruits and show them this is apple. If the child is ready to show you another apple, you can tell first, you can tell him to show you another apple. But don't ever push child. If he doesn't give you, then you show him apple and say this is apple, and it goes same, it does matching. So you can do these things with bananas and everything. So child knows what you are doing. So habits like this help you a lot in making them reason. Another activities like problem solving will be, you can do very simple homely activities with your children to inculcate problem solving. Like you can give him a packet of biscuits and put him in a plastic bag or something and tell them to open up. If he's holding, give him a lid to make him little harder. If he's getting frustrated, help him out. But encourage problem solving, encourage reasoning, why this thing is happening. These things are very important in your child's life. If give him little socks and tell him to match the socks, tell him this is same, this is different. You can start doing this when they are 1.5 years old or so. And these things help them to these things make connections in your neurons. So when they have a little problem, and then when they solve it, they felt encouraged, they felt they have done something. So let them do something, let them be independent, let them handle their things. Always be in messy play. Help Let them do messy play, let them play with atta, or let them play with maida, things like that. So they will put it on themselves, they will know how things are happening. And never ever use things like don't do this, don't do this. Ever tell always find things what they can do. Always find little things and then tell them you can do this instead of this. Always give a positive environment to your child. Give them lot of activities, simple activities you can make at home, like you can take a bit of bottles, like plastic bottles, cut them and paste them on the board, and tell them to just open the cap and then put them back, and give a little bit variety of bottles with shapes. So it helps them to see how the things are happening. And starting early, and when they are 1.5 years, 1.3 months, is very important. When you see it, when you do these activities and you are practicing these activities and you are intentionally doing this, the thinking skills, the creativity, it all increases. Things like putting beads in the thread are very important for writing skills, which develop later. You can also show little picture books of ABCs to the children, but you should not be harsh to them and ask them questions, where is A, where is B. Just keep on giving them information, while playing, while doing things, while they are at home. When they are in the garden, you can tell them, show them things. You can make them water plants, tell them how to cycle water, why are plants important. Let them put water in the plants. When you are showing them animals, give them reason to think. Tell them, like if you're showing an elephant, show a elephant baby also. Show when they grow up, the elephant's baby grow up only in size. But when you show him a butterfly, you have to tell him, butterfly doesn't grow like that. So a caterpillar turns into a butterfly. So how it goes, and you can show them, there are different things, how animals grow, how birds grow, while showing them birds, you can tell them like ostriches are the biggest bird but they can't fly. Give them reasons, give them facts which will help them to grow tremendously. Show them, give them rhymes and rhyming words while singing rhymes. Rhymings, nursery rhymes are beautiful way to encourage thinking and your speaking skills, and your creativity is so exposed to when you are rhyme things and rhyme words, and you say the things, sing nursery rhymes to them, and they learn how to speak. So starting early, giving them right environment is very important, which takes them to the long way. So, things like nuts and bolts, show them flashcards, use things like, nuts and bolts are another great activity to make fine motor skills, and, your hands are developing, how cognitive things are happening. And, you use flashcards, as much as possible. Show them things, show them flags, show them fruits, show them important people of the world, show them India. Show, you can use, make a small little room or make a small little area where you can put all things according to them, and make a wall of a flashcards and show it to them. What is it? If the child is not responding, don't you worry about that. The child is not responding to you because his brain is always responding. When the right time will come, the child will respond, because each and everything is going into brain. While when you're taking up stairs, also count stairs with your children, no matter how young they are, maybe 6 months. When you are climbing up the stairs, count 1 2 3 4 5 6. So these things, these little things make their mind very strong. What is mama doing, what is she doing? Like when whenever you are speaking about words also, like if you are doing a tickle game, and you are doing a tickle game with them right after the bath, and you say tickle tickle tickle. Sometimes say tickle 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 3 times. You can sometimes say tickle 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 4 times also, and then make it 2 times, and then make it 5 times. The child will respond to things. And sometimes what you can do is play peekaboo. Play peekaboo when he's in the cot, or when he's sleeping. Or you can, if you have an elder sibling, you can tell him to do peekaboo with different toys. And noisy toys are also very helpful for children, because they capture a lot of their attention, which is also important to catch their attention, where otherwise their attention is always in the TV or something like that happening. So learning, make a learning environment. It is not an hour, or learning starts with small children. Learning is not for an hour, it is full day learning for them. You can teach them anything and everything while giving them a right environment. Just talk to them, talk to them smartly, talk with the intention to put thinking skills in them, put use activities to do writing skills then with them. Show them reasoning, how you can do this. Little simple activities takes you to the very long way. Like a nymph turns into a dragonfly, a tadpole turns into a frog. So these things help you make sure learning fun. Now coming to another important thing, what is learning important and how to make learning fun. Making learning fun is very important in today's world, because if you make it very mandatory, and it is for small children, if it is only in the routine, and they know they get bored very easily. So play games throughout the day. Make a little time for maybe ABC times, or 1 2 3 4 times. You can make it in a routine, so they know. But apart from that, the whole day is a learning process, and make everything fun, as fun it can be. Make detective games. Let's play detective games. While showing him after you have showed him a cow or something like that, you can ask them a question, like you tell me a animal which has 4 legs and says moo. So this comes in a little later stage, when they are 2.5 year old. So but these things are very important to you, and these things take you a very long way, and take you a long way, and they tell you your children are exposed. When you're exposed, you can read a lot. read lot of books so you have a very have an environment, a healthy environment for your children. And if you read, your child will always automatically read books when they are quite independent. But you have to model your things, and you have to see how the things are moving. Whatever children are mirror of you. Either they will take up from you or your partner or your grandparents or their siblings, but they take things from you. You can never complain why my children, why my baby is doing like that, or why he's shouting, because he has seen somebody shouting. He has You have exposed him to that environment. He's been exposed to that environment of doing things, and of how what they are doing, what they are not doing. So environment is a very very important thing in today's life. What kind of things you are doing, what kind of activities you are doing with your children, how you are making them learn. And make learning a fun. And because it's a lifetime, what you are saying, when they're eating, you can tell them facts about everything. When they're eating also, if they're eating something sweet, you tell them to put a little honey and in it, and talk about honey. If you're using honey in any activity, talk about honey. Like a honeybee, that honeybee makes only 1 tablespoon of honey in the whole lifetime span. So giving them facts is very important, and these facts will come to you if you will read a lot of books. Read a lot of books on maybe general knowledge books, maybe facts for children and everything. So these things help you a lot and lot. While if you are giving facts to children, they will know things like small little things which maybe make them little happy about things, and they don't know. Like if you're showing them snake, tell them snake doesn't smell like us from their nose. We use nose for smelling, snakes use their tongue for smelling. So these kind of things, when you tell your children, they get creative, and and repeat these things sometimes. Maybe after 2 days also repeat same things which you said to them, which you told them last night or something 2 days back, to just remind them. Keep reminding them things. Keep them thinking. Don't take a test from your children, 1.5 year old. If he knows your colors or no, if he doesn't know, just keep telling him, this is red, this is green, this is yellow. Don't ever ask them. If you can ask them, if they tell you, then it's super fine. But if if the child is not reacting to your things, if your child is not doing maybe giving you a response, don't you worry about that. You keep on telling your things. And I have my two babies with me. The elder one is 3.5 years, and the younger one is 1.5 years. And there is a lot of difference between two. Their learning capacities are different. Their nature are different. The one is shy, the other is extrovert. One is more talkative, the other one is less talkative. So it depends of the children. Never categorize your children in that way. He's not doing this, he's not doing. They will do it on their speed. Every child has their own speed, and they look into your own speed, and they work according to that. So no, when the child is little over 2.5 years, you can do things with them like cooking activities, and make it fun. First research your things, and how you can do this. Make milkshakes with them, make little lemonade. Sometimes make a sweet lemonade, sometimes make a salty lemonade. Let them know how it became. The salt is salty, the sugar is sweet, or a honey is sweet. A better version of sugar is a honey. You should put honey. Give them importance of what is the importance of honey, and how it is healthy for you. You will soon see your child repeating your words in front of everybody. And these little things like cooking activities, if you are making little milkshakes, make it very experimental. Sometimes put a lot of strawberries, sometimes put banana, and let them taste it. Let them see last time you put strawberries, it was tasting something else, and now we are making a chocolate shake. So it is the taste are different. So these are first form of experiments. Your kitchen is your chemistry lab. So, and it gives you so much of creativity you don't know. And uh, these little things, if you are saying the right words, choose the right words to tell, keep thinking of things how you can inculcate creativity in them, how in your little span of things how you are doing it, you know like if you are making a ice cream with them, put little maybe you are squeezing some watermelons or some blueberries and squeeze it and keep it in the fridge for some times, and when you are keeping it in the fridge it is making it hard, so you have to tell them this, we have freezed it and it made it hard. It gives them sense of pride that they have made this thing, and it gives them like how it changed. You can do you can do lot of experiments with your children, when they are growing up. You can do a rain experiment with shaving foam. Don't you ever think it will become messy? It does. Sometimes your house becomes very very messy, but don't you worry, it gives them lot and lot of thinking abilities how this happened. If someday they are just fidgeting with egg or something, and just they broke a egg, never scold your child for breaking an egg, because then he knows when he the egg got broken, why it got broken. Just tell them that. You should tell them, you should not waste things. You should talk very smartly to them, but don't scold things. If something happened, just tell them why it happened, why it is happening, how is this happening, and make it an experiment. And experiment when you are putting it like experiment, your child will see that thing. uh, we have a question from Yash, that he says how to inculcate learning in your children. So, see, learning is all things that I'm talking about is about learning only, and learning is very important. Make for child to love learning. See, Yash, how old is your child? So I can talk about this little more in detail. So till we get an answer from him. So learning things, it is an ongoing process which starts, and you have to make an environment learning friendly. Like I just talked about an egg breaking, you can teach so many things from him to him about how did it break, why did it break, it is so fragile, and what comes out of the egg, how it gets spread, how you should make it little, you should handle it carefully. It is not like a fruit. You can't just keep it like a ball, or it is a very fragile thing to eat. So it is a learning process. See, while studying online, in online classes, learning is happening simultaneously. See, schools are working very hard on teaching their things. They have their curriculum made. I always say, first go by what your teacher, believe in your teachers, what they are doing. They are doing the right thing. There is a whole research which goes behind it. And sometimes people nowadays, I hear people saying, what is the need of a school, we can do these things ourselves, or things like that. But no, system works. We have come out of a system. We are a product of a system. There is a system for everything. You should always go by what your teacher is saying. And children are today, I think, 6 months down the line, 3 months down the line, now they are happily adjusted to online learning. And learning is, what is missing in online classes is just that they are not interacting socially. But learning is, schools are doing happily, and the learning process is happening with children. I don't see any problem in learning and studying online. So yeah, things are going in their head, don't you worry about that. And what you can do is, you can do after school activities with them. Whatever the ma'am is teaching, you can use little worksheets, use kits for them to, you are reinforce things what your teacher is telling you. And how you are doing this, you should expose them, and make them relearn all those things, and you will I'm sure about that. You will see your children are learning. My 3.5 years old, I was very worried about him, how he will learn things online, because he was too small and everything. But down the line, maybe in 3 4 weeks, he knows his letter, the how the schools are teaching, and learning is taking place. He is able to do whatever the school is teaching. So go by it. Go, believe in your school, believe in your teachers, what they are teaching, reinforce them, make a learning environment for them, and you will be good to go. So yeah, other thing what I wanted to talk about, when we are talking about experiments and everything, while you are doing a little painting class, or anything what your child is doing, like a small thing, while he's painting also, what you can do is never restrict him with a brush, or you can only paint with the brush, or you can only paint on the paper. He can, his fingers are also brushed. Let him brush, use his fingers for painting on different medium, on different canvases. He can paint, give them stones to paint on, give them little leaves to paint on. They can paint with leaves, they can paint on leaves, they can paint little, maybe the things from a pot, paint on a pot, or a paint and make something, make like little craft activities. I'm sorry, little craft activities also help them in doing lot of things and inculcating these things into them. So never restrict your children in one way, never restrict their canvases, never do the things can be done like this, never tell them a dog can only be colored this way or that way, because let them grow, let their brains go, let their neurons develop, let them see things. If you are teaching a dog also to your child, don't teach one dog that this is a dog, this is a cat. Show him a variety, show him breeds of dogs. Go in each topic in the detail, in how much detail you can be. Show him different breeds and what are these breeds, how they are. Show him different, when they are mixed breeds. Tell each and everything. You can search about it online. While no matter how young they are, you can tell them 10 types of dogs are there, 20 types. You can show them 20 types of breed. And if you are keep on telling them, you can use flashcards for these. And when you see the show them this is the breed of the different types of dog, they will learn about them. You can show them different cats, different, tell them about the cycle, how these cycles goes on, different types of cats. Flags are so important for them. You can teach, like how I teach my child flags. See, I have a set of flashcards which I use with my children. I have posted on my wall. I show them each and every day whenever they are going, and so when they wake up, I tell them to say hi to all flags. So hi America, hi Africa. Then I tell them I have a huge map which I have posted on my wall. So I tell them go and show me where is America. Show it to doll, where is show it to your little brother, or show it to your doll, or show it to your toy. Where is America? Go and touch America, and make learning fun for them, and not like a boring thing like this flag is America, this is this is India, this is Africa. Don't do things like that. Make it fun activity so they know. So while teaching him Italy, what I did was we made a whole Italian restaurant with them, and I let him cook. And obviously I assisted him in cooking pizza and different kinds of maybe dessert and one starter. So it was a whole process which we did for Italy all alone. So we made a restaurant where we made a menu card. So I wrote things on this. Then his dada and papa came and everything. Then they ordered everything, and then he was the chef of the day. And then we got him then we served it how you serve it in a restaurant. We served it in the restaurant, and in a very detailed manner. I told him to tell their guests too about this is an Italian restaurant and where is Italy. Show them on the map where is Italy. So these, when you make a detailed version of things and make it a very fun activity, they know it by heart.